Dear spectators, on behalf of the International Judo Federation of Azerbaijan, and all our sponsors.
Hello and welcome to the opening day of competition of the Baku Grand Slam. Azerbaijan's capital city of Baku plays host to the IJF's second Grand Slam of the year. Located alongside the Bay of Baku, this ultra-modern, vibrant city is teeming with spectacular architecture. Known as the City of Winds, Baku is also renowned for its urban nightlife. But it's right now and right here at the Heydar Aliyev Sport Hall that the action is set to take place, beginning with the first of the bronze medal matches in the under 48 kilo category. This features Noah Minsker of Israel and her opponent Tassiana Cesar of Guinea-Bissau. And with commentary for this and all the rest of the afternoon's medal matches, it's a very warm welcome to former world champion Loretta Cusack-Doyle. Good afternoon, Loretta.
Good afternoon, Sheldon, and welcome back to this final block, which is going to be very exciting indeed. And as Sheldon says, we have Minsker in the white representing Israel, and Cesar
And in blue for Guinea-Bissau, four-times African champion. Tassiana
Minsker from Israel, 23 years of age, ranked 21 in the world.
Just looks as though she's got a slightly oversized kit. It's one of ours, I think.
Is it?
Yeah, she must have committed some kind of kit infringement and then had to have one of ours, but she's tiny, you know. I mean, although Cesar is quite tall for 48, yes. So she may look it may look worse than it really is, but the kit does look a little bit large for her.
Well, Minsker in Dusseldorf took a bronze medal, and quite sure she'd be hoping to take another one here today. But she's up against Cesar, who's a very competent athlete, two Grand Slam medals under her belt, and 4 times continental champion.
Tall with long limbs.
She has, she's very leggy, as we would say, long legs, but she's in the previous matches leading up to this final bronze medal match, she hasn't been using it to her advantage. The type of techniques she's been using is the ouchigari. She's got a very bent over posture, which makes it very difficult to engage with her partner. Really doesn't capitalize on the reach that she can have with those arms and legs. With such techniques such as uchimata, osotagaris, those sort of skills that would most probably benefit the body shape that she is right now.
You were talking earlier on about the age of some of the competitors. I'm just wondering, when you look at Tassiana Cesar, how old?
Well, she's 33 years of age.
Yeah.
And I think
getting on now as an athlete.
Well, looking at what we have lined up, she's most probably one of the oldest ladies in the tournament. And doesn't look like it at all.
No, not at all. She just fancies that one more roll of the dice, I suppose, in up to Tokyo. And given that she's been Continental Union champion 4 times, the possibility, if she hangs around there and continues to score, she will have enough points to qualify and go again.
Yes. Well, age is just a number. It all depends on the impact they've had on their body and the amount of tournaments that they participate in. Some compete near enough every other week, and some have just started a later on career. So it really is, it's up to the individual on how they compete. But normally as lightweights, 33 is a fair age for a lightweight.
No scorers yet. 2 minutes, the first 2 minutes have gone. There's a nice little effort there from Minsker, hoping to bring her opponent off the other side, but doesn't quite come off.
Well, Cesar just picking up the first Shido. I wonder if this will make a change and the dynamics of this match. Will she step it up a gear? Because really she's just coasting at the moment and just taking second best off that grip. As you can see, Minsker coming in with the drop, but she's got the upper hand as the As you can see, that right hand under her opponent's left, blocking, taking on the lapel, and it also got that very strong sleeve grip, but really not doing anything with it at this moment. The referee will take that as being quite negative if it continues. You can see the drop, Cianagi. Again, lost control as she went over, and now Caesar trying to capitalise down in the Newaza, but as you can see, the legs too far apart.
Just shading it for me, the Israeli fighter, on a couple of attacks.
Kristen.
Yeah,
Well, the Israelis are always very strong and very fit indeed, so they give a good fight all the time, and they look very, very busy out there. So even if they're not getting throws in, they're putting more attacks in than any of their opponents ever do. So for the referee, it's a positive sign, even though there isn't a score. Again, you can see that drop, and she goes right out the back door with it and rotates around her own neck. And teaching your basic Cianagi, it's really on the hook of the arm rather than around the neck. You lose all control when it starts going over onto the shoulder.
single Shido against Cesar at the moment. Doesn't have to worry about the time on the clock because it's only a positive score against her that would put her out, and Minsker hasn't been able to put that up there as yet. Mind you, nor has Cesar, so that's why we're still here. Chance on the arm if she's quick.
Looking for the Newaza, but as you can see, her hand's been caught up by Minsker there.
Yeah, you know, what she's saying here is no, we were on the ground, and the only reason I stayed on there was I was attempting the arm lock rather than the continuation of the throw. That's what she's claiming. She's saying the only reason that Minsker was able to throw me is because I attempted the arm lock.
But it wasn't. She was actually going over. You got that lift. It was a continuous movement on that. So yeah, it is a deserving Wazari, I think, based on that replay. It's always a difficult one to call for referees because depending on the angle they're at that time.
Yeah, in the replay you'll be able to see that. You can look at only the action of Noah Minsker. If you look only at the action of Minsker, you'll see that at no stage does she stop.
No, and Minsker obviously takes that bronze medal along with the bronze medal she took in Dusseldorf, so she'll be quite happy with that.
Having a good time. You're climbing up the IGF world ranking list, scoring points.
And the bronze medalist in white for Israel.
Gümüş medalında görüşte galip geldi İsrail maçısı
Noah Minsker. This is first medal for Noah Minsker of Israel in a Grand Slam.
Bu idmançının Gönül Brigatürü'nde ilk medaldı.
You can see she was continuing to drive forward.
Yeah, she never
Just
stopped.
makes it-
Yeah.
No, she was still driving off that back leg. You can see
It
that
pushes off the leg. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
she just accelerated as she came back up off the knee. But it was a continuous movement.
Yeah. Right, so it's Noah Minsker who takes the first of the medals in this final block, a bronze medal in the under 48 kilo category. We've got a second bronze medal contest coming up now, and that features Marina Cherniak of Ukraine. There's another Israeli up in this one. This time it's Shira Rishoni. It's Cherniak in the white judogi, Rishoni in
Dear
blue.
spectators, the next bronze medal contest for women under 48 kilogram.
Aziz stajyerler 48 kilogramda ikinci bürüz medalında
Here we have
görüş amaçları.
Please welcome the
Head to
referee,
head,
Miss from
2-1,
Hungary, Mr.
as you can see
Konstantin
there.
Balas.
So they know each other very well, and so this will make a very
And now,
interesting
dear
match
spectators,
indeed.
please welcome the athletes in white for
Cherniak,
Ukraine.
28 years of
Gold
age,
medalist
12th on the
Grand Prix
ranking,
2015.
and Rishoni 19th on the world ranking, and 26, 2 years her opponent's
And
junior.
in blue for Israel, bronze medalist at Paris Grand Slam 2015.
And like you said, another Israeli. So they've been doing very well today.
It's a good matchup because they're not that far away from each other in the world ranking list. Cherniak is just outside the top just outside the top 10. Rishoni is just inside the top 20, so they're
yes.
not that far away from each other. It should make for a good battle, and it's 2-1, as Loretto has just said. And it's the Ukrainian Cherniak who leads that head-to-head.
Well, this is someone who does use those long limbs to her advantage with that big right hand that comes over the top, close to the belt. And when she gets that grip, she can be very, very dangerous. Well, Rishoni knows that, and she keeps that right hand down. Looked very defensive there, and she's got to be very careful when she holds the pistol grip and drops it down that it doesn't look negative. It is tactically the thing she has to do, because that right hand of Cherniak is dangerous, because she comes over there and then scoops in for the Uchimata. Rishoni circling her opponent, and obviously the main aim is to keep that right sleeve down at all cost.
Cherniak took a 5th place at the European Championships when they were held here a couple of years ago. So she's no stranger to
Well, obviously a
coming to
lucky
Baku.
place.
Yeah.
Athletes have that sort of feeling as well. If they win at a certain place, it's a lucky place for them and gives them a lot more confidence. Cherniak this time opts to just bring the leg through without having that powerful right arm over the top. But as you can see, the Israeli picking up her second Shido, and it won't be long till she picks up the third one, because it is a very negative fight here for Rishoni.
Chief was looking on there, Mr. Marius Visa, president of the International Judo Federation.
Sumigeisha attempt there.
Got out of it, okay, yeah.
She did very well to exit out of that technique. Well, Cherniak there with one Wazari on the board with just under a minute and a half left in this contest. Now Rishoni trying to pile on the pressure, steps it up again, looks a little bit more erratic but out of control, and you can see it just looks like she's picked up a bit of an elbow injury.
So there'll be another. What was it that?
Well, obviously one of the moves that she had made
Yeah.
was
An illegal
Interest-
move against
something it
Shira
was there.
Rishoni then.
Something we just didn't see near that end.
medal for Shira Rishoni in a Grand Slam.
Bu idmançının böyle bölgede ikinci medalı.
Yeah, Rishoni leaves the mat just holding on to an arm. Oh, twin sister, Marina,
Oh, is she?
Ina. She's partially
Just see
blind.
that. Oh,
yeah,
right,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
See the highlights on the
She
screen.
held onto that arm. It was taken at the arm lock from
Oh.
the standing position into the Niwaza.
Why did I do that? I mean, look,
It's-
from this
it's-
point you have to know all that you've got is the arm.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, definitely deserving hands-off Yumaki. But for what cost? That's the problem. Hopefully it's not too
Hopefully,
serious.
yeah. We come now to the final of the under 48 kilo category. Milica Nikolic of Serbia faces Stefania Koyama of Brazil. It's Nikolic in the white judogi, Koyama in blue.
Well, Koyama hasn't had many matches, and as you can see, Nikolic 32 wins, and very similar in age.
And now, dear spectators, please
But on the
welcome
world
the
ranking, Nikolic,
in white
ninth
for
in the world
Serbia,
ranking.
Under 23 European champion.
Altı lokada Serbiya idmancısı 23 yaş arasında Avrupa şampiyonu.
Milica Nikolic. And in blue for Brazil, first time in the final in a Grand Slam.
Ve gümüş lokada Brezilya idmancısı ilk defa böyle bir
As the compere said, first time for
Stephanie
Koyama in a Grand Slam, 21 years of age.
He could have said first time in anything.
Yes, I think we've only got two competitions. This one and I think it was an open event. So, but that's not to say that she hasn't had many smaller events in Brazil.
Just something that at the moment about Nikolic and how she goes about her work that suggests that she's really on the way up there.
She's progressing slowly but nicely. There's definite improvement each time she comes out. In Dusseldorf, she picked up a 5th place, so already she's now into the final from having a bronze medal in Germany, that 5th place in Germany. We're now looking either a gold or silver. Nikolic there with the drop CO.
What a thing for Koyama to come out and only in her second big competition on the circuit being a Grand Slam final. It's just unbelievable.
It goes against the odds, doesn't it, with someone that with very little competition experience to be able to come to a circuit like this and be in a final. It normally statistics say that
Can't
doesn't happen.
Knocked out in the first round in Prague at the European Open last week, and now here she is in the
Yes.
Grand Slam final. Mind you, she did have a couple of good wins today. Okay, Aisha Gobanli is no, you're not going to scream about that, but she beat Cherniak, and then she beat Tatiana Cesar. So, I mean, that's the continental champion from
Yes.
Africa. So, good,
She's
good
definitely
work.
performed really well today, and I think the favourite, based on performance for me, is Koyama. It all depends really the sort of mental strength of a young athlete. 21 years of age, her first time in a final at this level. Is she going to be just contented to say, well, I've got into a final, I've got a medal? Or is she hungry enough to say, well, I'm here now, I want the gold?
Yeah, I think she's got a kind of look about her that suggests the latter, that she fancies taking the gold medal.
Well, she's oozing confidence out there, isn't it? She's owning the mat at this moment.
Oh,
lovely
nice work,
close
really
setup.
lovely.
Oh, beautiful
Sold her, didn't
technique.
she?
Really lovely attack there. And a well-deserving Wazzari.
Just that little movement.
It was just subtle,
Yeah.
wasn't it? It was
And then
all
around the
body
back,
action,
yeah.
her head turned and switched it so nicely with her feet. She's coming round the back again, as you can see. Nikolic looking for the opening of the Uchimata, and that's obviously the danger there.
Mind you, Nikolic was just on her heels a little bit more than I thought. I thought that it was more of a little feint to the front, but she saw very, very quickly. That's what I thought it was. But she saw very, very quickly the opportunity to go
Yes.
around the back, and she brought her down nicely. So a little over a minute left to go. It's Nikolic who's got everything to do now.
Lovely. Oh, again,
Mm.
so nicely executed that. It's not even one of her most strongest techniques. Her strongest technique is Osotogari, which is a completely different direction. It's a rear technique, but off the other side.
And again,
same thing. She's
Nikolic off balance, not in a good position, and Koyama taking advantage of that, just throwing the leg around the back. And down comes Nikolic. She's already, it's such an easy thing, just to push back a little bit and over she goes.
She's on her heels,
Yeah,
and
she's
she
on her
comes
heels,
in.
yeah.
You can see that back leg, the driving leg of Nikolic. As she steps through, you see the back leg, her weight is more to the rear than it is forward, and that's why she's getting countered so easily. And there you see a little bit of frustration now for Nikolic. She's really now starting to have the pressure piled on her. I don't think she can see a way back from here now. With 17 seconds, a lovely Seo Toshi attempt there. Again, another nice attack. And Koyama is really just cruising along here now. Nikolic looking just a little bit scrappy and desperate out there, trying to get back what really was already lost halfway through that contest.
Well, I wouldn't have put any money at all on Stefani Koyama of Brazil doing what she's just done here and taking a gold medal in the under 48 kilo category. Even if you count the European Open in Prague last week, this is her first IJF Judo World Tour, event, a Grand Slam final, and she takes it, a gold medal. She will catapult up the IJF World Ranking
list. This is just the start,
list.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
That she will just grow and blossom in her ability now. For her, this confidence and this medal is going to mean so much. The difficult is for Nikolic. She was the #1 seed coming into this tournament. A lot of pressure on this young lady, and sadly she didn't. She got into the final. It's not a solemn situation. She got a silver medal, and that's really something to be said at this level of tournament.
I should have known that there was going to be something, because when she was coming out to line up for the contest, I was walking past. I was coming back to the commentary position, and I heard the staff telling her, "You need to have your white judogi in the bag in case you need it." Well, she was going to need it anyway for the medal presentation, but she didn't come with the white judogi. All the others, if they had blue, had their white judogi with them.
Yes.
So she didn't know.
She didn't know.
She had to run back and get it. Oh well, she'll know next time.
She'll know. She'll be prepared next time.
Well, she was definitely prepared for the win. Nice work, really good work from Koyama. Nice to look at. Fresh face on the scene with nice judo. Right, we come to the first of the bronze medal matches in the under 60 kilo category. Orkan Safarov of Azerbaijan faces Eric Tabake of Brazil. It's Safarov in the white judogi, Takabatake in blue.
Well, Takabatake has got a little bit of an edge of a head-to-head, 2-1 wins. Safarov, #1 seed, Paris Grand Slam, took a bronze medal. Strong athlete. #2 in the world ranking and 25 years of age. Takabatake, 26 in the Grand Slam, was 5th place and has 5 Grand Prix medals under his belt already. But he's only 8 places below him in 10th position. So this is going to be quite an interesting match. Based on results, you would have said possibly these two athletes would have been in the final. And here they're fighting for a bronze medal. It showed you that 60 kilos and 66 men were a very tough weight category today.
Yeah.
Very interesting matches throughout.
We had the #1 seed in.
Safarov
I wonder. He's taken him from the ground, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So
It was a takedown.
crowd throw.
Yeah, that was a warm-up.
Yeah.
That was just here's what's going to happen. Interesting, that one.
We had the number 1 seed in the under 48 kilo category make it to the final. We've got the number 1 seed in the 60 kilo category making it to the bronze medal contest, and they have had a look at that and said, no, we're going to give you a score. They put the score up.
What I found
Safarov.
interesting with it is that he wasn't actually on the ground. He got back up on his own feet, and then the technique was executed and was lifted and accelerated more. So he was technically in the standing position.
Safarov was never in Newaza.
No.
Taka Batake may have thought that he was, but it
Yes.
takes two, like they say, it takes two to
Yes,
tango.
he actually came
Yeah.
up before
Yeah.
Safarov actually executed the technique. So that's why I was a little bit unsure with how they would look at that. Safarov there with that left hand that goes over. That's the danger, is the left hand that creeps over the back there. And as you can see, the Brazilian trying to keep that left sleeve down. Not doing a very good job at the moment. Finding it very difficult. Pressure there that Safarov is placing on his opponent. Safarov desperately does come there for Tayatoshi, rotating his opponent over. A lovely attack. Just couldn't get that little finish at the end. Nevertheless, a real threatening throw to his opponent. Uchigari, lovely attack.
Ooh.
Step round, a circling motion with that. And the second Shido now goes to Taka Batake. Safarov now looking to rotate his opponent over. Oh, what a lovely little move there in the Newaza. Now he's tied up that head very nicely, and now he just needs to get the leg out. As you can see, it's caught up. The pressure on the upper body is excellent there, and he's got the time. The referee knows, and there's the foot
Good work.
out. Taka Batake really has got no
He's
chance.
had to tap out there.
Yeah, he's having to. That head was just tied up, and it would have been even difficult to breathe in that position. Well, Safarov, as that picture shows, it looks like he's a little bit relieved that's over and done. He takes a bronze medal here today.
Grand Slam bronze, no small feat. He would, I think there is relief on his face, as Loretta has just said. He's at home, he wants to deliver for the home fans, and he ends up at least getting a good round of applause, despite the fact that it wasn't the gold that he'd hoped for,
No,
but at
I
least
wouldn't have thought he
he's
came
come
close.
away with the bronze.
Yeah.
We'll have a look at some highlights, and then we'll come up with the second of the bronze medal matches.
These are the highlights on the screen.
Ekranlarda görüşten en vacip mahkumlu görüntüler izleyeceğiz.
Now, the second of the bronze medal matches features Yanislav Gershev of Bulgaria. He's up against Guzman Kyrgyzbayev of Kazakhstan. It's Gershev in the white judogi, Kyrgyzbayev in blue.
Well, one head-to-head, and Kyrgyzbayev has that advantage. As you can see there, the wins, 64 wins to Gershev. A lot of competition, a lot of positive results.
Number 35 at the World Judo ranking.
Mr. Huang Ko Chao is the referee in the middle for this one. He'll have the pleasure of looking after us when we visit him in Hohhot in China in a couple of months' time. The weather will be a bit warmer than it is here at the moment.
Well, I'm surprised the weather itself. I thought it would be a little bit colder than
Yeah,
what
I
it
thought
was.
so.
So, pleasantly surprised. Gershev, 27 years of age, and his favourite technique, which has been demonstrated many a time throughout the day, is that Tayatoshi, which is a real danger.
Kyrgyzbayev won't want to see it.
No. Well, Kyrgyzbayev,
He may not.
Sianagi technique, which is very dangerous as well. We've seen that with quite a few. So for me, this is going to be a very tough match. Not quite sure which way Kyrgyzbayev, obviously ranked 73, is quite a bit lower on the world ranking. And Gershev, as we've seen, has got quite a lot of wins under his belt. So he'll be very confident out here in this match.
Was it Shishimi Toru, the Japanese, who beat Kyrgyzbayev in the semi-final?
That's correct, but Kyrgyzbayev beat Savrov in the first round. And it was a very convincing win as well.
Little Sitemi was from Gershev. You had a look at Kyrgyzbayev after that as they went off the mat. What was that about, I wonder? Something that you didn't like. And wasn't Kyrgyzbayev the one that we were talking about who was slightly untidy?
That's correct. Well, you were talking about.
Sorry, yeah.
You
Oh,
weren't
well,
happy the
I'll
way he
admit
dressed.
to it, yeah. It was, he always seems to come undone.
Well, he is again here. I don't know whether I would say it's a disadvantage for his opponent, because especially someone who loves that high throw over the top and taking the belt grip. If you can't see the belt or can't even feel it, then it's obviously got to be an advantage.
He also has a habit of undoing his gi. Well, when I say undoing his gi, just loosening it up a little bit.
Kyrgyzbayev there, as you can see, with that right hand deep over the back there. Waited a little bit too long, left that message there for Gershev to know what he was up to.
Almost caught him, didn't he?
Yes, and he was just biding his time. He was waiting for that counter. Gershev coming through. Combination there, finishing in the Sutemi Waza. Not really convincing.
Just playing again, you know, he's always ruffling his gi up and everything. Look at Gershev. They've been involved in the same contest. Neat, tidy, everything's in. You've got a nice grip on him.
Gershev there desperately tried that counter, but he landed first.
Yeah.
And so obviously there's no score on that. Siatosh there. Well, it seems to be 1-1, really. You can see which way that this bronze medal is going to fall. with 1 minute and 17 seconds. There she was, her attempt there from Gershev. Just left his trailing foot too far to get the drive off it. Koichi, a lovely combination there. Koichi Gari to Sumigesh. Kyrgyzbayev there with 2 Shidos against him. One more would result in a Hansoku match with just over half a minute in this contest. Kyrgyzbayev there, as you can see, with that right hand over the back. Just leaves it just that little bit too long. Gerchev just waiting and playing that bit of a waiting game, trying to anticipate his opponent's next move. Oh!
Oh, he's had a look, the referee.
Oh, well, I'm not quite sure if he did get the landing on that.
I thought he was on his front.
Yes, but that could have just completely upset the whole apple cart. Well, that was very interesting as well. So Gerchev will be a little bit dubious about coming through that deep or waiting.
Ooh.
And he comes round and
not quite.
So close, but just lost the control, and that lift he didn't accelerate on. Sianagi attempt from Gerchev. Oh,
sat him on his backside, so no score.
Oh, that was so close. He hooked him with the Ochi, drove off the back, but just plunked him onto his bottom. Oh, got the counter again. Is he? Oh, just loses it. Well, it's been an exciting match, even though it's into the first minutes of golden score. Still really couldn't predict which way this is going to go. There's been so many near misses for both these athletes out there now. Oh, yes! Oh! Well, that finished it. He threatened it for so long. It was there, he just didn't get the lift, and that was just the icing on the cake. That was just lovely.
Kyrgyzbayev had earlier had sufficient enough power to block him from doing that time round. He was worn down sufficiently enough for Gershev to bring it off. We'll see that in the replay.
Wonderful lift off that this time.
This is first medal for Yanislav Gerchev in a Grand Slam.
Well,
here are the highlights of this contest.
You can see the highlights of this bronze medal contest on the screen.
Bu görüşler inanılmaz görüntüleri ekranlardan izleyeceksiniz.
Oh, yes. He was in a much better position. He was much more upright. He came round the back. He lifted right under his centre of balance and just launched him. power there generated. Nice finish. Real commitment. Oh, beautiful. And there was no coming back from that.
Right, we've got the final of the under 60 kilo category coming up now. Shishimi Toru of Japan faces Mukhriddin Tilolov of Uzbekistan. It's Shishimi in the white judogi, Tilolov in blue.
And now, dear spectators, please welcome the athletes in white for
Well,
Japan,
Shishimi
the
wearing
winner
the
of
white.
Paris Grand Slam last year.
25 years of age, this young man, against his opponent,
Shishimi Toru.
22. No head-to-heads,
And blue for Uzbekistan,
so this is a
the
new
winner of
experience for
Paris
both
Grand
these
Slam last
athletes.
year.
Ve göğüs boşluğa Özbekistan idmançısı Taşkent'te geçirilen Grand Prix galibi.
Mukhriddin
Shimishu.
Tilolov.
He's got some support with him.
Well, Shishimi Grand Slam Paris won the gold medal. He's got 3 Grand Slam medals and 5th in the World Championships.
Single Shido picked up by Tilolov. Won't worry him too
No.
much.
Very slow start in this match. But you would slightly anticipate that happening. Is the final of this 60 kilo weight category. Shishimi, lots of experience, and no stranger to being in a final of this level of tournament.
Both fighters pick up penalties for passivity.
Like I said, it's really, they haven't really engaged yet. They're still sizing each other up, and it was the first bit of excitement we've had in this match.
Yeah, Tilolov just turning to his left there, looking for the Makikomi. Prior to that, just before he picked up that penalty, he was just holding on to Shishimi with one hand, and it was almost
Yes.
as though like Randori or something. Didn't realise there was a clock running. Now there's the possibility that his not doing anything could result in both of them picking up a penalty. Now he's 2 penalties, Shishimi is 1. So the danger really rests with the Uzbek now. If he makes another error, that'll be it. It was rather loose of him, I think.
Shishimi, just as you can see with that left hand and that foot, he's just touching the foot, just playing with the Ashiwaza, just a real threat there, but without any major commitment. Just constantly showing the Ashiwaza. We've seen in previous matches what he has is that Kosoto into the Uchimata, and there we have the Uchimata. So that's a nice attack.
He did this earlier on, didn't he? Took some
Yes.
time to work it out, and
just a
eventually,
Slow pace. He's not one to rush into anything, and he's been like this throughout the day. But what he has is a lovely combination of the Kosoto, again touching, without really pressing on that Kochi to make it a threatening attack.
I think it was his against Tilolov's teammate, Kyrgyzbayev, the other Kazakh fighter in the semi-final. He did the same thing.
Yes.
He just took his time, and then eventually caught him. He's done it again here.
You can see the Shishimi there with that left hand blocking his opponent's side, but hooks in again for the Uchimata Makokomi, picking up his second Wazari. Hooks in like for the Ouchigari, and then switches it.
20 odd seconds left to go. You have to be something pretty special from Tilolov. He hasn't shown signs of being able to come up with that. This one looks as though it's getting away from the Uzbek, I'm afraid. Problems with the grips as well. He's pulled that arm in there. It's so
just
tight.
lost, yeah. Well, it doesn't look like something special is going to come from Tilolov. But definitely Shishimi takes the gold medal.
All happened in the last minute, didn't it?
It took his time, didn't he? Not one of the most exciting matches, but it was a gradual build-up to what we expected at the end.
2 scores for Shishime Toru of Japan is enough to get him past Tilolov. It may not have been the most spectacular
And the gold medalist
of
in white
wins,
for
but
Japan.
it's interesting to see how
A win's a win.
Yeah.
Isn't it? At the end of the day, no one remembers how you won, it's what you won.
that's right.
This is
Interesting to see how Shishimi goes about his business. It doesn't look to me as though he's the kind of fighter who's looking across at the clock all the time and wondering, what's happening. He just gets on with the business. Let's have a look at the highlights, and then we'll be back with the awarding ceremony for the women in the under 48 kilo category.
After the highlights, we will have the first medal awarding ceremony for women under 48 kilograms.
İlk yarışmacılar.
Dear spectators, the medal awarding ceremony for women under 48 kilograms.
Hanımlar ve canımlar, hanımcı koşuların 48 kilogram çeki derecesindeki galipleri mükafatlandırma merasiminden başlayalım.
The medals presented by the president of the International Judo Federation, Mr. Marius Wieser.
Right, we come now to the awarding ceremony in the under 48 kilo category. The bronze medals go to the 2 Israeli fighters, Shira Rishoni and Noah Minska.
Silver medalist for Serbia, Milica Nikolic.
Silver medal goes
And
to
gold medalist for
Milica
Brazil,
Nikolic
Stefani Kolyama.
of Serbia. Well, the gold medal goes to
The prize money presented
Stephanie
by
Koyama
the president of the Judo Federation of
of
Azerbaijan,
Brazil.
Mr.
We may
Mikhail
get to
Ismailov.
chat to her a little bit later, I suppose. What an effort that is for a young kid. First time out on the circuit,
It's amazing, isn't it?
bang. Nikolic will continue to climb the IHF World Ranking
Flowers
list.
presented by General Secretary of the Judo Federation of Azerbaijan, Mr. Elman Babanli.
The going to have to look out for the little Brazilian. I think she can cause some trouble.
Well, we've got a
because
Japanese coach at the moment that actually worked with the British team for
Yeah.
many years,
yeah,
and now
Yuka.
seems to be doing extremely well with this team right now.
Dear spectators, please all rise for the national anthem of
Now
Brazil.
the national
Əziz
anthem
tamaşaçılar,
of
qalibiyyət
Brazil.
şərəfinə Braziliyanın dövlətini səslənir.
Thank you very much. Now, family
I
picture
suspect
between
that
Nigeria
is
and
not the
Judo.
last time that we're going to see Stephanie Koyama
Definitely not.
on the podium.
It's like one of those watch this space.
Yeah. What a start, eh? She came unstuck last week against Daria Biladid in Prague. Biladid went on to win the competition. It was unfortunate that Koyama didn't have the protection of any ranking places to avoid, losing to the eventual winner, but the same thing happened here. She had to fight whomsoever she came up against. She just happened to
Dear
beat them all.
spectators, the next contest is bronze medal contest
Right,
for
coming up next, the
women
contests
under
in the
52
under 52 kilo category. The first of these is the bronze medal match featuring Anja Stanger of Slovenia. She's up against the former Olympic champion at under 48 kilos, now competing at 52 kilos, Sarah Menezes of Brazil. And the referee in the middle for this one is Sławomir Kłoniewski. Here is Loretta.
In white for Slovenia.
Well, this is
First
gonna be a
time
very
in the final
interesting
in a
match.
Grand Slam.
Avcılıkta
Sarah
Slovenya
Menezes,
maçı
as we say,
bölümler
Olympic
katılımında
champion
ilk
back in
defa finalda
2012
çıkış
at 48
edecek.
kilos,
Anja
and has
Stanger.
already made that transition
And
into
blue for
52s quite
Brazil,
nicely.
London Olympic champion.
Seventh place in Grand Slam in Paris, and obviously in Rio, the seventh
Sarah
place.
Menezes.
Stanger, junior European champion back in 2016. There's a lovely score there with the Wazari there for Stanger, giving her a great start to the drop Cianagi. Not sure so much of it was a Wazari. It looked very close to the front there, but the score stands.
I'm with you there. My initial feeling was that she landed, on the side. There wasn't
Yes.
a great deal going. It was the push afterwards that got her onto her back, and maybe there was just enough there to connect the two of them together with some speed. We saw
Yes.
it in slow motion, and for me, it was down on the side. Not really a big deal. Could have left that. Although now, when I think about it, whatever was Yuko is now Wazari. So could have been just squeezing out to Yuko.
Yeah, possibly it might
Mhm.
have been it that.
There's Yuka that you were talking about.
Yes.
Speaking of Yukas, she's been up a lot, because she was there for Koyama, Takabatake,
She's been there for all of the
and then-
athletes.
and now
as far as
from Menezes. Maybe they've
Yeah.
just got the one coach with them, I suppose, the Brazilians. She's going to be a busy girl.
very busy. Well, like I say, she seems to be doing a good job
Mm.
with them.
She's well
There's
liked.
a little bit of, there is quite a bit of that Japanese influence in the judo as well, as
Yeah,
you've
very
seen
much
throughout
so.
the day.
Very much so.
Nice ashiwazas. Sanger there looking to capitalise on the niwazas, trying to find some openings. As you can see, the leg being caught up, but not quite sure. But, well, it looked like she was getting the shimiwaza, but the head slipped out there. A lot of work, and surprising enough, the referee's allowing this to go as long as it has. Well, a minute and a half left in this contest. Stanger with a Wazari on the board, a comfortable lead. Sarah Menez, they're really piling on the pressure, as you can see with the drop Cianagi. Desperate attempt to get back into this contest. Again, another drop Cianagi, a little bit too far out there, and you could read that happening as she dropped under. Stanger just blocking her out nicely. Well, a real battle of grips here. Stanger, even though Wazari up, still playing a very engaging match here with her opponent. Just over half a minute left. Oh, and a lovely Osoto turning it into a Makikomi. It was so close. Just didn't get close enough to her opponent. Hooked in deep around the back, but really just didn't get any upper body control. But Stanger, as you can see now in the niwaza, it was looking very uncomfortable there for Sarah Menezes. Well, that was a very convincing win for the Slovenian Stanger. And you can see it's written all over her face how happy she is with that. And it's not every day you beat an Olympic champion, though, is it?
I know I mentioned them together, but Stanger, although she's from Slovenia, and then in the under 48 kilo category, Milica Nikolic, they're two young lightweights from that region area that for me are really on the way up. And you're right, she's absolutely delighted with that.
Well, she knew it was going to be a very tough match, but she played that so well. Got the lead in earlier. A great coach. Seen her many a time out there, and then he works a lot with the men's.
That's right, yeah.
These are the highlights on the screen.
Ekranlarda görüntüler izleyeceksiniz.
Lovely drop Cianagi there, and followed it through into the niwaza. Well deserving. Again, it's when you see the fall.
Dear spectators, the second bronze medal contest for women.
We come now to the second of the bronze medal contest. Charlene van Snick of Belgium faces Gilly Cohen of Israel. It's van Snick in the white judogi, Cohen in blue. The Israelis are having quite a time of it, aren't they?
Oh, they are.
Chance for
They've
a
had
third
a
medal.
really good innings, very close to medals, and this is going to be a very close match as far as wins are concerned, and that the basic lineup for them. But there is a big difference as far as the Olympic ranking, but what we've got to remember is that Van Snick has moved up from the 48 kilos, and she's ranked 7 in the 48, but she's actually ranked 89 here at 52, so she's just starting, so we can't really go by that too much. Only a year between them as far as age is concerned. Not a lot of difference at all. Van Snick, Olympic bronze medalist in 48s.
Just trying to think of the... I mean, we know both the athletes really well, and we know what their strengths are and their styles and everything, but it's Cohen who is at home, if you like, as far as the weight category is concerned.
Definitely.
Van Snick looking to make a mark. So where is it going to go? Is it going to be Van Snick to come in?
I think it's going to be a very, very tough match. Well, you think Cohen, she's got 11 Grand Prix medals. It's quite a bit, and she's got 5th in Dusseldorf 2 weeks ago. So she's been around them out the medals and medaling at a very top level for a long time at this weight category. So she's comfortable now.
Yeah, you've got... Or I've got a feeling sometimes that the fighter comes in and they're just a little bit nervous or tentative about a particular opponent. Cohen must be past that by now, as you say, with so many times to the match. She knows what she's capable of and she knows her opponents. Van Snick, on the other hand, is getting used to some of these people and the new weight and the tempo, all those sorts of things. So it's interesting battle.
It's down to the physical attributes of the athlete, but it's how they mentally prepare for this, because Van Snick, she's got nothing to lose. She's all to gain now. She's gaining experience every time she comes out here, and she's the underdog as far as the weight categories goes, and Cohen, she's got it all to do and to prove that this youngster that's come through from 48s is not going to take over as easy or make an easier job at it than what she did at 48s.
2.5 minutes left on the clock. We'll see who it is that emerges from this particular head-to-head. There's a nice little left on the left side, at least threatens Cohen. That was Van Snick looking to come across there low on the left side.
What we know with the Israelis, they can fight, and they can fight right to the end. They've got a lot of staying power out there, well conditioned and real fighting machines, so that she's going to have Van Snick's going to have a battle on her hands right to the end, regardless how this pans out.
Cedric Taymans is the coach in the for the Belgian. Must be bad when you recognise the coaches from when they were fighting.
Yes.
And that you commentated on some of their matches. So been around a while, and I don't mean Taymans.
When you remember them at juniors, then you know you've got to worry.
Oh dear, yeah. Nice camera work there in that last shot. We were just about to miss the action, and whoever's responsible for it just moved in time.
Yes. There's a nice bit of Niwaza there from Van Snick.
Just quarter
She's
as
looking
well.
for that arm. Is it on? Oh, yes! It's there, but has she got leverage? Yes. Well, that was a lovely, clever bit of Niwaza. And she nods her head to say, thank goodness that's over.
Well, we highlighted the fact that she was one of the most experienced fighters, one of the most experienced Europeans. Who was it that she came up against where that was a point? Why did we, or why did I feel the need to make that? She lost out to Larissa Floria, and then it must have been Pienkovska, who she fought in
Yes,
the
that was the one
repechage
on the
contest.
Yes.
Because she already had a damaged elbow, the Polish fighter, and then she had the problem of coming up against Van Snick, who was one of the Nevaza specialists. And so it proved there in her overcoming Gilly Cohen. All right, well, we've got the final coming up next. She taps before she goes over, doesn't she?
Yes, there. That's where we didn't see the submission
yeah.
because it was on the turn that she actually already tapped.
It was already done, yeah.
So it's there she tapped.
Yeah. It's already out.
When you think it was a very clever tap because the referee was on the opposite side to the blind side of that. You would wonder if
One of those.
a very silent motion one. Wrong
Right.
side, you would have missed it.
We've got the final of the under 52 kilo category coming up next. Alexandra Larissa Florian of Romania faces Paprika of Hungary. It's Pup in the white judogi, Florian in blue.
Dear spectators, now it's time for final for women under 52 kilogram.
Well, as you can see, it's a real head-to-head, age very similar, grades the same, and even the wins are 51 to 46. So not a lot in it, not a lot. This is going to be a very tough match.
Welcome the athletes in white for Hungary 2015 European Junior Champion.
Judo'da Macaristan idmancısı 2015. yılda gençler arasında Avrupa birinciliğinin galibi.
Paprika.
Frank Wolf is the referee in the middle for this one. Did you just say that?
Pardon?
Did you say that Frank
No,
Wolf is the
you're
referee?
hearing
I must be
this
dreaming then.
Dreaming deal.
Cavacısı.
Alexandra
Well,
Larissa
some very
Florian.
serious young ladies heading out here to this arena. Oh, great start there. Well, she wasn't wasting any time without Uchimata, and as she strides back, she's so in control of this contest. There's the slight height advantage, as you can see there, and uses it very wisely.
It's the best thing that can happen to Florian, to take a lead here. It changes the whole shape of the contest now. You know, once you have a positive score.
Oh, definitely. Well, your opponent's then on a chasing game. It's constantly having to chase, and which leaves you very vulnerable at times. And the longer the match goes on, the more pressure that is piled on the Hungarian. I love that. Could have so easily been a pawn.
See, I'm not sure if Pup's got the kind of weapons that she's going to need to threaten.
She's a
Florian,
battler, and she has
yeah.
battled her way all the way through to this final, and you can't take that away from her. But does she have the big throw? I'm not sure. Looking at even the gripping of Florian, she just pulls it off. The power that she has. Very, very strong lady in this weight category. Now looking for an opportunity in the Newaza.
Time during the mate for the coaches to give out a few words of wisdom.
Well, Pop there, as you can see, is that right hand on the lapel. She tries to tuck it under her opponent's left elbow to block out what potentially is very dangerous, the Uchimata. But Florian's taking the belt grip now, which you see those long legs coming in. She's got a good strong sleeve grip. And Florian throws that left hand over the back, opens her attack with the Ashiwaza. Up again then with her right hand on that lapel. Was not really capable of doing much, but she's got the arm lock here. She held onto the arm as it went down.
Now's the time for...
Nice Ashiwaza, but and following it through into the Niwaza, which is good. If anything, the clock ticks away quite nicely, and it still remains very positive. So just over a minute left in this contest. Florian still maintaining the lead of Uzari on the board. Both picking up a Shido. Florian now taking her second Shido. One more would result in a Hansokumaki. So she has to be a little bit careful. But up until now, she's controlled quite nicely and just maintained that lead comfortably. She got that Uchimata, just missed the foot slightly there.
Couldn't follow it up on the way out of the Uchimata with the Kochi.
Yeah. Danger is when you're doing the Kochi and moving your way out, you can get caught. And there's just a split second that you can be very vulnerable. And she has to be careful there. But Popper's piling a bit more pressure on now, but not threatening at all with any attack. Just a good, strong gripping tactic out there, which is making Florian look passive at times. Again, as she was as nice, she worked there again, following into the ground, and the clock just ticks away nicely.
Florian it is who takes the gold medal in the under 52 kilo category. She was the number 2 seed.
Number 2 seed, and
this
she
morning.
came out very positive right from the beginning, and what helped getting that score in the earliest seconds of that match. And she just maintained that level, and she composed herself so well and so elegantly out there. So it was a great match for this young lady.
And the gold medalist in blue for Romania,
Bu görüşte galip gelen Romanya idmancısı
Alexandra Larissa Florian. This is first gold medal for Alexandra Larissa Florian in a Grand Slam.
bu idmancının Gölge Brigade turnirinde ilk kızıl medalıdır.
First gold medal in a Grand Slam for Florian.
And I can see that she'll be up there in a
You
few
can
more.
see the highlights of this final on the screen.
When you think she's 21 years of age, this is just out of a junior career. And that was just superb, that one. Uchimata planted her down. But that straight away would rock anybody's confidence in the opening seconds of any match. And I think Pop was just on a chasing game and trying to catch up all the time. And it just completely unnerved her.
Dear spectators,
Well, we've got the awarding ceremony for the men in the under 60 kilo category now. Let's go down to the far end of the competition hall and have a look and see
by President of the
what
Judo
the
Federation
lineup
of
is.
Azerbaijan and President of soccer, Mr. Rovnak Abdullayev. The bronze medalists are for Bulgaria, Yanislav Gerchev, and for Azerbaijan, Orhan Safarov.
Bronze medals go first of all to Yanislav Gerchev of Bulgaria. Actually, no, it doesn't. Goes to Orhan Safarov of Azerbaijan, and then to Yanislav Gerchev. Silver medal goes to Mukridin Tilolov of Uzbekistan.
And gold medalist for Japan, Shishime Toru.
Well, the gold medal goes to Shishimi Toru of Japan.
The prize money presented by Vice President of the
Shishime
Judo Federation of Azerbaijan,
Toru.
Mr. Sadiq Sadigov.
Athletes are receiving their prize money, and then they'll have their floral tributes.
Ladies and gentlemen, please all rise for the national anthem of Japan.
Galibin şerefine
And now the
Japonya'nın
national
sesler.
anthem of Japan.
Thank you very much. Now, family picture with VIP and judoka.
It's the winning quartet. Gerchev and Safarov picked up bronze medals. Tilolov the silver, and Shishime the gold medal. Well, we come now to the bronze medal contests in the under 66 kilo category, and the first of these features Lasha Giunashvili of Georgia. He's up against Denis Veru of Moldavia. It's Giunashvili in white, Veru in blue. Here's Loretta.
Well, Gunevashvili has 6 wins under his belt, quite considerably less than his opponent Veru, who's ranked 48th in the Olympic ranking, 21 years of age, 7th place in Dusseldorf, still wanting that Grand Slam medal, but is under 21 European champion. So, impressive record, but still hasn't got that Grand Slam that he's looking for. Hopefully, if he wins today, that will be the first. Gunevashvili, 7th in Sofia in the European Open back in 2016.
We haven't seen a great deal of him then, the
Very little.
young Georgian.
Yes.
Giunashvili was the contest this morning that was the repechage contest where he defeated Ganbol Kurlan, the Mongolian, in that tight one.
That's correct,
where
yes.
he
that
got
was
the
a very
score and then he
exciting-
backpedaled for the rest of the contest and
Yes.
just narrowly squeezed out or edged out his Mongolian opponent, who was putting on a lot of pressure. Giunashvili picked up 2 penalties and was on the verge of picking up a third. It's not unheard of. It's not unheard of. But there are
Just
ways of doing it.
outright at the end, yeah. It was a big surprise, wasn't it, at the end? But a great match. there's been some exciting matches. Again, this was a really tough weight division. 16 athletes, but very strong competitors. When you look at Flicker there, that was at the bottom end of the, well, that's in the final. That was a tough match. And Takajo as well, another strong competitor. But the list of athletes participating in this weight, and to get to this stage now, fighting for a bronze medal, is a well-deserving position to be in.
That was your pick this morning, the under 66 kilo
66.
category. Well done. Top draw pick that was. We ended up having
It's been
a
some
lot of
really
action.
impressive matches throughout the day in this weight category. Sutemi was there from Veru. Guniashvili there looks the stronger of the grips here, has a little bit more control in this contest.
Yeah, if you had to put money on where a score was going to come from, you'd think it was Gionashvili.
He seems very powerful and controlling of this, the way this match is run. It is down to the way he wants to play it. And Veru is just taking second best at the moment. A lovely Ochigari there, was a nice entry from the Moldovan.
He just tried to be a little bit inventive by putting one arm over on the other side for a second to see what would happen, but he left it there for a little bit too long and the referee gave him a penalty for not coming up with an attack quick enough. There's no problem with that grip. You can take that
Yes.
grip as long as you attack immediately, and unfortunately for Gionashvili it took him a little bit too long to develop something.
Well, the Moldovan now is starting to step it up a gear now. He's starting to come into play in this contest. Where before he was taking second best on the grips and even the attacks, now he's putting a couple of really nice Ashiwas. There's a lovely, the couple of Ochigaris that have been there have been close to scoring, and he's stepping across with that Tayatoshi Siotoshi as well. So there's a good combination of attacks, which is now piling the pressure on the Georgian, and now he's already with 2 Shidos on the board with still a minute left in the contest.
Yes.
And we know one more would result in a Hansokimaki.
He's gone back to that one side. He had another look at it. There's obviously something that
Oh,
he feels he
yeah,
can
but
work.
there's
Oh, there you go.
That was a lovely score.
Time
Real
to
pure
step
upper
up a
body
gear.
control.
Yeah. Poor old Vero. All that work has now been
Well, Vero
undone in this one move here.
made that error if he attacked when he's on the back foot. He was on his heels, he came round the back and he just lost he lost control himself. And Guniashvili just capitalised on that. He just took that and said thank you very much.
9 times out of 10 you're on a hiding when you get too close to the Georgian.
Oh goodness, yeah, it's one thing you don't do is you do not close that space and you do not allow them to engage with the arms around your back. And that's where they're really that sort of wrestling type of style. They're so comfortable to, and that's where they're strongest.
Well, that was it. He's had a look at the clock. He's done.
Well,
Frustration for Vero there. He screams in frustration, but Guniashvili is the fighter who takes the first of the bronze medals in the under 66 kilo category.
And the bronze medalist in white for Georgia,
Bu görüşte galip geldi. Altı doyguda Gürcistan idmançısı.
Lasha Gionashvili.
So we'll have some highlights from this,
Lasha Gionashvili in a Grand Slam.
Bu
and then we'll be back
bölge turnerinde ilk medalını
with the second of the bronze medal contest. Gionashvili taking this one.
You can see the highlights of this bronze medal contest on the screen.
ve ekranlardan görüşten en maraqlı anları yeniden izliyorsunuz.
We come now to the second of the bronze medal contest in the under 66 kilo category. Baruch Shmailov of Israel faces Nijat Shikalizada of Azerbaijan. It's Shmailov in the white judo gi, Shikalizada in blue.
Referee is from Japan, is Amano Akiko. And now, dear friends, please welcome the athletes.
Shikalizada, as you can see, quite a few wins under his belt. Looks the stronger of the head from the stats that we've just seen there. But as we've seen the Israelis, they've been around those medals. They are pushing forward as a real strong judo nation, especially today. Their presence has been known throughout. And Shmailov, you have here is junior world bronze medalist back in 2014 and has 2 Grand Prix medals under his belt, and a fortnight ago picked up a 5th in Dusseldorf, a 5th place. So again, he'll be wanting to go that little one better and taking a bronze. So this will be an interesting match between these two. Shikalizada from Azerbaijan, obviously the favourite on home ground.
Shmailov looks as though he's been through the wars, doesn't he? He's got a few cuts and bruises on his forehead already.
Well, like I said, this has been a really tough weight category, and I don't think any of these athletes will be going home feeling top dog. I feel like they've gone through a war with someone today. Shikalizada got a bronze medal in the Grand Slam in Paris, and that's total overspin, I think. It looks very impressive.
Well, there are a couple of things there, and one of them is as Loretta was just saying, the overspin, and the other is, even when he was supposedly on his back, he didn't actually land on his back.
No.
You know, there was a part as when Shikalizada executed that Sutemi-waza where Shmailov was off the ground but flat. But you've got to put your opponent on his back.
That's it. You know. And I think everyone sort of gets to the height of it, but doesn't actually see the finish because they're already celebrating.
There we go.
But as you can see, very low. But he landed first.
Yeah.
He landed on his back first, which means that the score doesn't count, even if his opponent did land flat.
There was nowhere to put Shmailov because Shikalizada was in the place that he wanted to put him. He was underneath him.
Well, Shikalizada there. I wonder if this home ground is the percentage he needs, the support behind him, but sometimes it can work against you, the pressures of having to perform on home soil.
And he ran the risk of getting countered there, and it was a simple push down from this. It's too far away.
Well, Sukemi was just, he left himself wide open. I think it was more of a panic attack there. He dropped, knowing that he was skipping too far, and he didn't have the upper hand as far as the upper hand control that we saw.
Well, he's given up a score now. Shmailov leads by Wazari with 1:40 odd left to go.
Well, as you can see, the fans out there are starting to have an opinion.
Restless. The natives are restless. Oh, that wasn't that clever.
No.
He'll get away with it, but... Over into that far right corner now.
Yes, once more. He's a bit of a powerhouse, this Azerbaijan. Sutemi-waza.
Well, again, we've got the same question.
Yes, it's who landed first, and
what part of the scoring part of body?
Well, we'll see it a little bit better here as he's on his...
He sits him on his backside.
Yes.
So he can't give a score. You start teaching your young fighters at home to throw people on their backsides, we're going to end up with no judo.
It was a lovely
Yeah.
turnover,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
that's exactly what it was, a turnover which should have been followed through into the Niwaza.
Both fighters pick up penalties for avoiding to take a grip. It's
Well, Shamalov there is in a
Yeah.
dangerous position. He's got 2 Shidos already. One more would be...
almost countered.
Lovely Osota.
You see, it opens that side up, doesn't
was
it?
just that
Yeah.
exchange of grips, wasn't it? There was that split second that both changed, but
Yeah.
was a
Shmailov's going to have to be
great-
really careful here.
Oh, definitely. He's just really... Shikalizada there with the drops
Nice
in.
effort,
Oh,
lost
so
the arm.
close. Oh, it was just so close. He just didn't have that finish, that little spin at the end on it. That was his opportunity, I feel. With 14 seconds to go. Well,
And he
you can't
comes up,
fault
yeah.
this man. He's given it all out there, isn't he? But he just can't get back the score. Now it's the 2 Wazaris. Well, the last desperate attempt there wasn't going to be good enough, and Shamalov takes that bronze medal, and he had to fight hard for that all the way through. Well, Shikalizada, he had some opportunities, a lot of good opportunities. He was very impressive, and he kept us all on our toes, and the crowd sort of were right behind him, but it just wasn't enough. He fell short on his final finishings of those attacks.
İsrail maçısı medali kazandı.
Baruch Shmailov.
Yeah.
First medal
You know,
for Baruch Shmailov in a
it's
Grand
it's
Slam.
that positive score. When you get that positive score on the board, it really begs a question of your opponent. Have you got something to offer up now?
Dear spectators,
He picked up the 2
please stay with us
penalties,
until the end of the competition.
and then after that he was pretty good. He wasn't running or hiding.
Hanımlar, canlar, desteğinize göre yeni maçlarımızın yanında olduğunuz için sizlere teşekkür ederim ve devam edin görüşlerimiz.
Baruch Shmailov it is who comes up with the win. We're looking at the highlights now, and that's just before we bring you the final of the under 66 kilo category. Takajo Tomofumi of Japan to face Tal Flicker of Israel, another
Yeah,
Israeli.
another
You know, they're all there.
Amazing, they've had a really
Yeah,
good innings
super,
today, a super outing today.
It'll be Takajo in the white judogi, Flicker in blue.
Oh, there's some really impressive grips there. And about control, Smilov, that's what was winning him today. That was the winning ingredient every time. Upper body control before he entered
Dear
into anything.
spectators, time for final for men under 66 kilograms.
Well, as you can see, Takajo here and Flicker in the blue wins 59 to 58, won by Ippon 35 to 25, ranked 21 to 14. Well, there's not a lot in this. You've got Tai Flicker 7th in Baku last year. He'll be wanting to get into that to, well, he's obviously got
Ağustos'ta Japonya maçısı bu debrikle turnirinin 4 kat galibi.
Takajo Tomofumi.
Nashbat Bukbat of Mongolia
For Israel.
is the referee in the middle for this one.
Grand Slam.
Gözdaki'de İsrail maçısı bu debrikle turnirinde ilk defa finalda çıkış edecek.
Tal Flicker.
Takajo, who's got 4 Grand Slam titles, ranked 21 in the world. But the way the Israelis have been fighting today, Maya, got a sort of can feel that maybe Flicker, it can be his day today. He got 7th place in Baku last time. He got bronze medal in Dusseldorf. Can he take it that one further? Well, he already has. He's in the final. But can he actually take the gold medal?
Takajo hasn't been at his explosive best. He's
No.
been good.
He's had a tough, like I've said, and I keep saying over and over, 61s was such a hard weight category, one of the strongest weight categories, especially today anyway. And he's been challenged right through. But as we've seen with Takajo, he just takes his time. He's not one to be rushed. And he's picked up several Shidos on the way, and it just seems to wait for that special moment to just pull it out at the end with something vague.
Did you just mention the Uchimata?
Uchimata.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he? He finds that way. He's left it quite late on a number of occasions.
Oh, very late, right to the end. So I wouldn't be surprised if this goes exactly the same way.
Good defence there, Flicker, with that modified Kataguruma. They just take the top half. There's no way that they can use the leg any longer, but still found a way to make it work, and that time Takajo blocked it.
Well, Takajo's got this Uchimata as that we've seen in the past.
There's obviously a grip that he likes to have before he even attempts it, because he hasn't thrown it in there once yet.
No.
We're halfway through the contest.
He likes the sleeve, and a couple of times he has ventured in thrown in the Uchimata without that sleeve grip, but majority of the time he wants the sleeve. Wants his opponent's right sleeve, which he does have at the, if I can see right, he's got that sleeve. He's coming through with the Seoinage as well. So he's got that combination that he works off of. Flicker now has got to start changing the dynamics of this match. He's a Shido down. Got to start taking a little bit more control. Change the pace of this contest as well. Step it up just that little bit more. Flicker throwing that right hand, as you can see, over on the shoulder. Seems to wait too long to use it. Sumigaeshi there from Takajo. Again, and Flicker attempts Sutemi Waza, but gets himself caught up there in the wrong position.
We've already mentioned the fact that Takajo is fairly comfortable with the length of time that the contest takes.
No problem, yeah.
He seems to get stronger, or he wins at the back end of the contest. This isn't playing into Flicker's hands, it's playing into Takajo's hands here.
Well, as we've seen, like you say, we've seen it so many times throughout the day that he's not one to rush things. The only difference here this time is that he's got no Shidos on the board, which keeps the pressure off him, especially going into golden score.
That wasn't the strongest, though.
No, and that'll pick up another.
Yeah, I mean, that's what an error. I mean, that's just as you were talking about.
Well, it would have been
keeping
more,
it clean. Yeah,
doesn't seem to. He's got it now. It's a bit slow to put it on the board, but it would have been more to his advantage of going in without that Shido.
Yeah, because if things get passive for both fighters in the golden score
Yes.
period, Takajo without one, then fine,
He
he
wins.
takes it. But now it's we're starting again, really, except that either fighter now can lose with a penalty.
Yes.
Positive score would be good, that's what we're looking for, but
Tsuyotoshi. Uchimata there from Flicker. We're actually seeing more attacks now in the golden score than what we did in the first round of this match. That right hand high there.
Well, that was uncharacteristic of Takaja. I don't think I've seen him attempt that Tomoe Nagi.
No, and two-footed as well.
Oops. And I think it was that poor that they're going to call a false attack. Yeah, no,
yes,
I'm not.
I'm very surprised.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm very surprised on that because he uses 2 feet and he did lift.
Well, they may show it again, but I mean it was so poor. Bit of a shocker.
Well,
what did
no,
he
I
do that
didn't.
for? Let's have a look and see. Anyway, we'll have a look at the highlights. Maybe something that they will show as well.
You can see the highlights of this final on the screen.
Final yarışından görüntüleri ekranlarda izliyorsunuz.
Dear spectators, the medal awarding ceremony for women under 52
No,
kilos.
we're not going to have that. We'll have the awarding ceremony of the under 52 kilo category. Let's have a look and see who we've got lined up down there.
Mr. Nureddin Sejbey. Bronze medalists are for Belgium, Charlene van Sneek, and for Slovenia, Anja Stanga.
Right, the bronze medals go to Charlene van Snick of Belgium and Anja Stanga of Slovenia. The silver medal goes to Paprika of Hungary. She's getting there slowly.
And gold medalist for Romania, Alexandra Larisa Florian.
The gold medal goes to Alexandra Larisa Florian of Romania.
The prize money presented by Vice President of the Judo Federation of Romania, Mr. Hamza Karimov. The flowers presented by Olympic champion and board member of the Judo Federation of Azerbaijan, Mr. Nazim Husseinov. Ladies and gentlemen, please all rise.
Now the national anthem of Romania.
Rumanya'nın himni sesleri.
Thank you very much. Family picture with VIP and judoka.
Well, we've got one more weight category left to bring you. That's the under 57 kilo category. But before we do that, we'll just have a look at the final makeup of that quartet on the podium. We have a nice shot of the medalists. Van Snick and Stanger took the bronze medals, Pup the silver, and Florian the gold medal. Now, the first of the bronze medal matches in the under 57 kilo category features Gilmara Prudencio of Brazil. She's up against Julia Kowalczyk of Poland. It's Prudencio in white, Kowalczyk in blue.
Please welcome the referees from Russia, Mr. Vasily Smolin.
So again, you know heads-to-head, very closely matched, these two.
And now please welcome the athletes in white for Brazil. First time in a final block in a Grand Slam.
Prudencio, 23 years of age. Kowalski, 19. Junior European champion,
Blue for Poland.
2016, and also back in 2015.
Göz bölgeden Polşa idmançısı, gençler arasında Avrupa şampiyonası mücadelesi.
Julia Kowalczyk.
So Prudencio has the slight height advantage here. Strong grip, good approach to this match.
I get the feeling that, given that both fighters are relatively new to the IGF Judo World Tour, that Kowalczyk is going to come in here with just that little bit more experience of having been in some of the European competitions.
Circuits.
You know,
Yes,
just
there's
got
a
that,
possibility that
yeah,
she's got that
the
edge.
We shall find out. I know there are plenty of people who will be watching from Brazil, cheering on Prudencio. We did have a Brazilian winner already, didn't we? In the under 48 kilo category, did we not? With Koyama.
Koyama, yes.
They've already
Well,
taken a
they've
gold.
been around the medals, as you would always expect with the Brazilians. They are very strong. They're like the Israelis. They've been around close to fifth or medaling and in the finals. So they're again another strong nation for judo.
Well, nothing to write home about yet. Both
No, they're
fighters just
looking-
feeling their way into it.
You can sort of sense that something is going to happen. You see Prudencio has got that right high collar grip that looks really threatening at this moment. The Uchimata are big. She's got the limbs as well, the long legs, the Uchimata, the big harais that you would expect, or the Osotagaris off that side. That sort of technical expertise. But whether she just waits too long is another thing. But you just sense there's going to be a big throw from the Brazilian because of her grip and just the size that she has. She's using, well, I would say she's using the sort of size, the long limbs to her advantage, but doing Sutemi Wazas like that, it doesn't actually give you much hope.
Yeah, she didn't move her opponent. They'd both picked up passivity penalties a moment ago, and then she comes up with that rather weak.
Yeah, I was very
Somewhat
surprised
eggy
for her
effort.
to do that, yeah. Because her main technique for the Brazilian is Osotagari, which she takes off to the side and she can reach right across, and she's got the grip for it. It's whether she has the confidence to just explode across over into it. As you can see, she's also got that sleeve that's frustrating. Oh,
yeah,
lovely.
yeah.
I don't know what happened there, if it was she hooked into the leg or not.
Tiredness perhaps on the part of Prudencio. But once Kowalczyk came in with the attack, there was zero resistance to that. She went heavily, so much so that
Well, she went down quite heavily,
yeah.
yeah, so I'm not quite sure what happened with the feet. but-
even Kowalczyk felt it. I'll tell you, she hasn't moved from there yet.
Prudencio, she did land heavy, but you can also see that Krvalsek, she's holding her shoulder with the land.
Üçüncü
So
alay
I don't think either one of them came off easy on that one.
This is first medal for Julia Kovalchik in the Grand Slam.
Bu ilk maçın WWF turnuğunda ilk medalları.
From it looked like a koji.
Yeah, it was a
of some
koji,
sorts.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was a Kochi, Gary. She didn't
Oh,
get
we're
the
gonna
gag
have a
because
look,
the
yeah.
leg didn't go
Oh,
right.
it was Oji on the other side. She tapped with one side and then went the Ojigari on the other side. Here, there's the tap and there's the Ojigari on that
Oh,
side.
right, so she did the Kochi, switched
Yeah,
Ochigari.
These are the highlights from the screen.
right away she was in some
Interesting.
discomfort.
Ekranlarda izleyeceğiz.
Shoulder, right shoulder.
It didn't look very sinister at all.
Yeah.
They didn't.
Your spectators, the next contest.
She doesn't have a chance to break her fall here.
No, she lands very
Yeah,
heavily on her
that
back.
point, I think.
So maybe it's the shoulder blade.
Yeah, I think what happens is, you know, when you're that tight in the top half, you can take the shock of the fall, even if you're break
yeah.
falling from the other side. You know that you don't get it, but there was nothing
No,
to break that
that's
fall.
correct, yeah.
The second of the bronze medal contests comes up. Tima Nelson Levy of Israel, surprise, faces Sevara Nishanbayeva of Kazakhstan. It's Nelson Levy in the white judogi, Nishanbayeva in blue.
Again, this is going to be another very close match. Both very even as far as results are concerned, age and grade.
Bölgede Kazakistan idmançısı, Taşkent Grand Prix'in gümüş mükafatçısı.
Lovely combination in that last technique. So once again, we have another Israelian, Nilson Levy, who's just approached the mat there, as you can see, in the white.
We'll try to find out exactly what has happened as far as any injury from the Brazilian, and we'll let you know as soon as we can. Prudencio is the
Lovely switch there.
fighter.
Nilson Levy there, a lovely forward attack there as she now looks to rotate her opponent over. Very strong start for this Israelian, which we've seen every time from the Israeli team. Well, we have here now again working away Nilson Levy, and this Israeli team has come out very strong this weekend already, on even just on the first day. Flicker in 66 taking the gold, and 2 fifth places, one in 48 and 52 with Cohen and Shioni. Now we've already seen the two ladies already taking 5th place. Can this one make it a bronze medal? Nilson Levy, that right hand high up onto the collar. She draws her opponent's head down. Looks very strong. Nishanbayeva there looking for the Niwaza as she swings over for that arm. Well, it's an Osakomi here, and Nielsen Levy has broken the spell of the 5th place and looks very comfortable now in taking the bronze here. Well, she does. 5th place, the bronze medal goes to Nielsen Levy of Israel. And she'll be absolutely delighted that, as we've already seen, 48s with the bronze medal, 48s with the 5th place and 52s with the 5th place. Now we have the bronze medal with Nielsen Levy. So the spell has been broken. They take today 1 bronze medal for the ladies. But how impressive that 3 weight categories and 3 placings for the women.
Bronze medalist EY for Israel.
Bürüş medalları görülür. Alt boyunda İsrail maçı.
Timna Nelson Levy. This is first medal for.
Well, that was very impressive there. Nielsen Levy breaks the spell of the 5th places and takes the bronze medal.
İlk medaldı.
These are the highlights on the screen.
Well, there's some fantastic highlights there. And a relief, most probably, for Israel. Now we come to the final.
For the last final of the first day.
Lien Chenling
Women under 50
of
kilos.
Chinese Taipei is up against Jovana Rogic of Serbia. Lien in the white judogi, Rogic, beg your pardon, in blue. I think this is going to be a terrific matchup.
Oh, I think this is going to be a very strong one, definitely.
And now, dear spectators, please.
Li Chengling, 29 years of age, ranked 12.
Bronze medalist in Asian Championship.
This is her first event this year, 3 times Grand Slam medalist and 5th place in the Olympic Games.
Well, things have worked out nicely as far as the seeding is concerned, because we've got the number 1 seed to go head to head with the number 2. Good one.
Well, it was predicted at the beginning, and it would be very interesting to see the ending of this.
The styles of the 2 fighters suggest to me that not only is this going to go to the form book or as far as the seeding is concerned, but just from the knowledge of the 2 players.
Definitely,
We were talking about the number of weapons that somebody can bring to the party. I just think Lien is going to have too many things. Good, powerful Tachiwaza, but incredible Newaza. And I'm not sure if Rogic is going to be able to live with that.
Well, she picked up a bronze medal 2 weeks ago in Dusseldorf, so she'll be on a high there and confident coming into this tournament, I would have thought. It'd be interesting to see. I'm very reserved on this and the way they've both fought, because they've had both very good performances throughout. But I think you could be right with Lien just tipping it that little bit. She's just been that little bit more experienced and an overall better fighter, both Tachiwaza and Newaza.
It's just guesswork, pure guesswork on my part. That's just
Well, Rogic there is starting. She looks apprehensive. She's agitated out there. She's putting in attacks when they're not necessary. She's actually putting them in because she feels in danger. And when you're coming out like that, you're always on the back foot. You're always trying to be there first, but not really knowing why you're going to go first. She's not setting up where you look, Lien. That's just Uchimata. She's taken her time.
very, very quickly to tell you about the injury to the Brazilian fighter in the bronze medal match that we were looking at. That was Gilmara Prudencio. She came into the contest with a previous knee injury and aggravated that. That's what caused the problem. She had a heavy landing, but it was the knee that caused the problems, and we didn't see that. We were looking at the shoulders and the back and the landing, and we were trying to work out how it is that.
But it was her knee.
But it was the knee. So.
Well, that's sad to hear, but hopefully she'll recover very quickly.
And it was the left knee, if you remember. There was a right-legged Koji Gari. The hook was on the right leg, so that hook, as she went back, that caused the problem.
So we're halfway through this contest, no scores. As we would predict, seeding 1 and 2 on the world ranking. Rogic, I think, has burned up a lot more energy in this contest, but with very little impact on her opponent. Lien got some strong grips, playing a bit of a waiting game and only being much more reserved in when to engage in this contest. Oh, just missed the leg completely there, and that Rogic just really lost a great opportunity there. Florivashi was there from Lien. Hooks in with the Uchimata, rotates over, nicely gets the Wazari. Timing very well. Just over half a minute left, so she couldn't have timed that any better. Looks for something in the Niwaza, but while down there the clock's ticking away. Uchimata winds it up.
Oh. Yep, 20 odd seconds left to go.
Well, Rogic didn't have anything to start with, and I don't think she's going to find anything right now to be able to come back. The Wazari down.
Yeah, my question, knowing both the fighters as they came to the tatami, was where was the threat going to come from? We could sense the threat. We know that Liena's got some throwing skills. That was the Nevaza that, for me, was the bigger threat.
Yes.
Didn't need it. Never got there.
No, she hasn't needed it at all.
Picks up a second penalty there, though, with 4 seconds left to go. But that really is
A lot of valuable energy was lost there from Rogic. She came out so fast and it was like she was running on nerves. She was running under pressure.
Like you said, it was as though she felt nervous about it, and yet she's a very, very good competitor.
Yes.
And didn't need to have that kind of fear factor. There was no need to. No doubt we'll talk to her, and she said no, it wasn't fair. There was nervous energy, though.
There was nervous energy, and it's been able to control those nerves. It's like when you're teaching kids and you're at tournaments and they say, "I'm nervous." You just say you're just excited. It's how you use those feelings. And for me, she just didn't use that energy and direct it in the best possible way to get a better result. And I think she lost a lot of power throughout that contest. So when it actually came down to being a Wazari down, she really didn't have anything left in the tank. So that was a really good, it was an interesting final, and a well-deserved win there from
Lien Chenling. We've got some highlights not only of this contest, but we've got the awarding ceremony for the men in the under 66 kilo category coming up, and then immediately after that we'll follow that with the awarding ceremony for the women in the under 57 kilo category. So let's have a look at those highlights. There's the left Uchimata that caught Rogic. Spinning, wasn't it?
She spun right in it, right from the entry to the finish. There was a continued turn, a full rotation all the way round, 360 degrees, right through to where she
Dear
started.
spectators, the awarding ceremony for men under 66 kilograms.
Okay, let's have a look at that awarding ceremony then. The men in the under 66 kilo category, there they all lined up down at the far end of the competition hall, and it is the far end this time. We are completely at the opposite end. Our end is where the soldiers, all resplendent in their smart uniforms under the flags at one end, and then the opposite end is where the medals are being presented. First of all, the bronze medals to Baruch Shmailov of Israel and to Lasha Giunashvili of Georgia.
Silver medalist for Japan, Takajo Tomofumi.
Silver medal goes to Takajo Tomofumi of Japan.
And gold medalist for Israel, Tal Flicker.
The gold medal goes to Tal Flicker of Israel.
The prize money presented by board member of the Judo Federation of Azerbaijan, Mr. Sahid Ismailov. The flowers presented by Chief of Media Department of the Judo Federation of Azerbaijan, Mr. Elnur Shukurov. Ladies and gentlemen, please all rise for the national anthem of Israel.
And now the national anthem of Israel.
Thank you very much. The family picture with VIP and judoka.
Right, some highlights before we come to the final awarding ceremony. Stay with us. We'll bring that to you, and Loretta's thoughts as well on her moment of the day, player of the day, or anything that she can remember. Some
Well,
highlight.
do you know what? For me, what's been impressive is the Israeli team. They got
Yeah,
in
Israeli,
the
yeah,
men's
did the job, didn't
66
they?
got the gold. In 57s, they got the bronze medal, and 2 fifth places in 48s and 52s. So impressive start for the Israeli team, and a great performance throughout for that team. So I was really impressed with them start with. But also we had the surprise winner of Koyama, someone to watch in the future. I think
Good
she
call.
was very good, winning the gold medal at 48 kilos. Very impressed with that young lady, and look forward to seeing her next outing. And also Florina of Romania. For me,
Yes.
she again, beautiful Uchimata, great performance, steady performance throughout the day, into the final, won the final at the 52 kilos. Again, someone to watch, and a very impressive performance throughout. So for me, those were the sort of highlights of the day, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow's performances.
I think because we're talking about a Grand Slam, and it was her first outing, and she's so young, I think you could be right about Koyama.
Yes.
I would go with that. That's a top draw effort. And if we look at who was there, Gilly Cohen, we were talking about who's in the top and that sort of stuff. Charlene Van Snick was a bronze medalist. Of course. Let's make sure we get it right. Okay, good. Okay, thanks. Right. 4 times African champion, Tatiana says that she was in the field. Okay, Alexandra Pop, she's a new one. Marina Cherniak has been around for a little bit of a while. Noah Minsker and Shiro Rishoni, okay. Milica Nikolic really was the number one seed and the top one.
Yes.
Her biggest opponent, given the world ranking list. Where on the IGF world ranking list is Milica Nikolic? Have we got that somewhere? I can look it up, I suppose.
Ninth.
So she beat someone in the top 10.
She got 5th 2 weeks ago in Düsseldorf.
Yeah,
so
let's give that to her. Yeah, well done.
So there were some
Well
great
done to her.
performances. Well, when you think of Alexandra Pop as well, under 23 bronze medalist, and it was her first Grand Slam as well, and Olympic bronze medalist 2016. So there was some really impressive competitors in that weight category. So for Koyama to take the gold, that was a very good win indeed.
Well, I think they may be ready for us with the last of the awarding ceremonies.
For women under 57 kilogram.
Hanımlar ve canımlar, hanımız dostlar 57 kilogramda galiplerin mükafatlandırma merasimine başlayalım.
The medal is presented by referring director of the International Judo Federation, Mr. Bernd Achilles. The bronze medalists are for Israel, Tina Nelson-Levy.
The bronze medals go to Tima Nelson-Levy of Israel and to Julia Kowalczyk of Poland.
Silver medalist for Serbia, Jovana Rogic. And gold medalist for Chinese Taipei, Lan Chenli. The prize money presented by Vice President of the Olympic Committee of Azerbaijan, Mr. Hazar Isayev. The flowers presented by Chief of International Department of the Judo Federation of Azerbaijan, Mr. Zaur Mutalimov.
Silver medal Ivana Rogic gets a floral tribute, and then the gold medalist Lian Chenling of Chinese Taipei will join us tomorrow for the second day of competition. Thanks very much for your company, and thanks from Loretta Cusack-Doyle.
Thank you, and goodbye.
Now the national anthem of Chinese Taipei.
Thank you very much. Family picture with VIP and judoka.
Nelson Levy and Kowalczyk were the bronze medalist. Rogic took the silver. It was Lian Chenling of Chinese Taipei to take the gold. That's all the live action that we've got for you, and those are all the medal presentations. So from Loretta Cusack and myself here in the Heydar Aliyev Stadium in Baku, it's bye-bye for now.
And goodbye from me.
And also, thank you, audience. Tomorrow will be the second day of Heydar Aliyev Grand Slam here in Baku. The preliminaries will start at 1 p.m. and tomorrow we will have 4 kilogram weight categories. These categories are for men under 73 and under 81, and for women under 63 and under 70.
Hanımlar ve canablar, ümumi lider Heydar xatirəsinə həsr olunan böyük təbriqə turnirinin ilk günündə qalibləri və mükafatçıları təbrik edirik. Sabah yarışların ikinci günündə mübarizəyə günorta saat 1-dən start veriləcək. Sabah siz kişilər arasında 73 və 81, xanım zoşlar arasında 63 və 70 kilogram çəki dərəcəsində mübarizə izləyəcəksiniz. Bugünkü dəstəyinizə görə, bizimlə olduğunuza görə, idmançılarımızı tək qoymadığınıza görə təşəkkür edirik. Çox sağ olun. Sabah görüşənədək salamat qalın.